Guys, injuries from the game. We had Colton McKivitz, had knee, didn't return. Eric Armstead, foot, didn't return. Go ahead.
Preliminary thought on how serious McKivitz's injury is?
I'm not sure yet. Looking like an MCL, but it's always never confirmed till tomorrow.
I'll just, what do you think of the performance out there today, especially coming off of last week's game?
Man, I was real happy overall. Obviously, with our whole team, it was a cool way to win. We knew it would be a battle. To keep them out of the end zone was great. I thought our special teams played well. It was really cool to see because I thought we had a chance to run away with it. Especially after Georgia's touchdown, and then for that to get returned, and then the next time down there, thinking we were going to get that field goal and come up short on that. But then Huff getting that pick six got us right back at it. So it was cool to not play perfect, but to overcome a lot of things and have a good, big victory.
Last week you said it's early, you can't start circling games, but in some ways, was this a little bit of a gut check game for your team?
We all know how last week went, so that makes eight tough days. Wish the game came faster, but each game's different, and that was a big one, obviously. Still counts the same, but anytime you win one in your division, and coming off how we were last week, we needed to play good, and I thought we did. Not perfect at all, but definitely played better.
How close were you to going for it at the end of the half there instead of kicking?
What's that?
How close were you to going for it instead of kicking the field goal?
The one on the two. We were close. We discussed it. If we were on the one, it might have been a little more tempting. But I thought our defense was playing well and stuff, and felt it wasn't that tough.
It's during the week that Debo was going to step up with a couple big plays like he did tonight. Like when you're just talking about a practice, or you see something in him.
I always feel that from Debo, regardless of the practice. He had a good week, but he tends to do that, especially versus them.
How would you describe that touchdown pass?
Oh, it was impressive. When the ball left the hand on the third down one. I'm trying to think because they get them mixed together which one scored. But at first it looked like a pick. It was close. That corner was teeing off on it. We had to wait a little bit because the guy inside, they ran into each other. So we had to hesitate just a hair, and Debo to come down with that throw, and then he did the rest, which when you get the ball in his hands, and I think he's shown he does some pretty cool things.
Game did D'Amico Ryans call it? It seemed like he called pressures at all the right times.
I thought D'Amico did a hell of a job mixing it up. You can't stick with one thing versus a team like that, versus a quarterback like that, and he mixed it up throughout the game. So I'm excited to sit here and watch it in a sec.
Jimmy, last week, they talked about being out of rhythm during this practice week. Do you do things that can get him into rhythm, or did you think it just was going to be natural for things to kind of get clicking again?
Whenever people in sports struggle to get out on the field, and we didn't get a third down, and we didn't get to third down a bunch last week. No one feels in rhythm. That's kind of the way we say it, but it really comes down to that's just a broad statement to what happened, and we didn't convert a third down last week. And Jimmy came out on the first drive, and I don't know how many it was. I want to say he converted 3, but he threw some big throws there, and it kept us going and allowed us to start with the touchdown. So, I think last week that was the reason for it. It was third down mainly, but I thought he did a hell of a job on that early in this game, and that allowed us to end with some points.
What goes into a play like the Vanya made as far as a preparation and film study standpoint?
Not hesitating. It's a play that they run a lot. It's a play that we ran a lot. That's a really scary one just to tee off on. You better be right. And whether you're playing with vision, watching the quarterback, watching the tackle come out, watching the blocking scheme, I think anyone who's seen Huff play this year and even last year, the guy doesn't hesitate. And if you do that, you better make some very good educated guesses, or it's not long before you give up the big plays and keep both teams in the game. And that's what Huff's been really impressive with here this year.
Is it unusual for a second-year player like that to have such command of the game and have such confidence?
Yeah, I think it is unusual. But I think that's the type of guy he is. I think if you ask people back at SC, that was his style. It was similar. He plays the game very well, and the more guys you have like that, the better.
Obviously, Stafford's a great quarterback, but he has a tendency to give defense backs chances. Is that a discussion point when you've been playing Rams this last 2 seasons that, hey, it's going to throw some balls up for you?
Yeah, that's a discussion point I say a lot, with a lot, especially, you make so many big plays and stuff, and most people who are like that, when you make those big plays, you are going to give the other team some chances. And we used to always say that with Breeze back in the day. He's going to give you about 3 in a game, and you got to make sure you get one of them. But I see that a lot with some of the better guys, and that's why they always have a chance to make big plays.
Your defense has strung together 4 really good weeks here, other than just having good players. What is it about that group that's allowing them to succeed at that level right now?
I think we played. We've had the same scheme for a number of years. We've had a lot of continuity with it. We lose a few and gain a few each year, but just the core. With the linebackers, some key guys on defensive line. Jimmy's Ward's been here for a while. I know he hasn't been able to play this year, and these 2 new safeties have stepped in. E-Man's been here for a long time, being able to add Mooney. Our coaching staff, we got a lot of continuity there. D'Amico's been here since day 1. Johnny Holland's been since day 1. Chris Sarek came year 3. So I would say it's that.
You didn't pile up huge rushing numbers, but you got a breakaway run from Wilson early. You kept it balanced, and you did it with 5 starting linemen that were completely different than the 5 that were at the Rams game back on November 15th. Does that say for what you were able to do this week against them?
Yeah, we knew it would be a challenge. That's how it was last year in the championship game. They got some guys that are tough to block, and those safeties tend to play a little bit different versus us coming up in there. Last year I think we had 20 carries for 50 in the championship game, which sometimes you got to do that, but when you make some of those third downs and stuff that we did, it's not always about that. It's about getting a few more called, and then you just got a chance for a big one. And you can stay on the field, and you're not going to have many good ones. They're real tough to run the ball against, but we had some big ones today, which I think was the difference.
What encouraged you most about Jimmy Garoppolo's performance tonight?
How he played throughout the whole game. Threw the ball well, did a hell of a job, played good.
Stretching a little bit on the sideline there, and Purdy's kind of started getting warmed up. Were you told anything that Jimmy might have tweaked something or was working through something?
No, I'm sure he just wanted to throw, get loose and stuff. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with him. There was no talk of that.
What did you think about the protesters there? Did you see?
I saw Bobby Wagner take somebody out, which I thought it was kind of cool to see.
Last one. Burford, was that just to?
Sorry, what's that?
Still going in there.
Yeah, we just Brunskill just got back for the first time in about a month. He's done real good versus these guys, and Spencer's done a hell of a job too here in this month. But we planned on mixing him in there a little bit just so he didn't have to take too many reps. But I'm not sure how it ended up. All right, thanks guys.